Welcome back to the Comic Book ASM Artist. Today I'm doing my Emerald City Comic Con weekend video. So I'm going to take you through each of my days as best as I can from my memory. So this is of course the program that you get for free when you go to Emerald City. And I would flip through quite a bit, but we have so much product to get through to show you guys as well. I guess real quick I can show you, like, it's pretty large. From what I understand, Emerald City is the third largest convention in the US. So this is like the exhibitor floor, which is the fourth floor. And across the street there's a building where they have like the family HQ and things like that. The beer garden was over there this year instead of in the actual convention center, I guess. And I actually never got to any of these areas this weekend. And then they had like a gaming area and stuff. Oh, never mind. So this was still in there, but I guess I just didn't even find that area. But across the street is where they had the gaming and the hive and stuff like that. I was mainly between the show floor, the exhibitor area, and the hotel where all the celeb stuff was at, and then Artist Alley, which was on the 6th level. So let's see real quick. I'm able to. Yeah, here's Artist Alley here. So I was between those three areas for the show. So to start off with Thursday is always our family day. And so I took the kids and my wife and everything. And so to start off, since my wife actually didn't even have the full day, she forgot that she still had to coach for that day as well, so she had to leave in the middle of the convention. So pretty much the first half of the day was spent making sure she could get taken care of what she wanted to. But there were a couple exclusives that I was trying to get, and I was concerned that I wouldn't be able to, so we ran over to do those real quick. So first off, I tried to go to Dark Horse and get a new yellow bag for the day, and we were 10 minutes late, so we just came at like 10:10 is when we got on the show floor, and they were totally out of them by then. But we did get a Dark Horse pen and a Dark Horse pin. So we got those on the first day. And then the things I was trying to get real quick, which was in the exhibitor area, they had the Grim Knight. This is like a shiny cover variant by the Graffiti booth. They're the guys who typically they do a lot of the officially licensed like DC shirts and things like that for the comic shops. And so I got this. And I don't know if I'm going to even take it out of the bag or not. I know they say that it's really recommended that you do, because these types of bags aren't suited for archival purposes. So I got this one. And then I got the Young Justice one as well. And I hardly ever do like these convention exclusive types of things. But these were books that I actually like and follow, so I wanted to get those. And then there was another booth called Unknown Comics, and they had, this was a convention exclusive here, and this is also the Grim Knight as well. And I haven't even read any of it. I think I just came out on Wednesday, so I haven't gotten the one from my shop yet, so just look real quick inside. So this is the Virgin variant, obviously, because there's no trade dress at all on it. And they had a couple different ones too. They had a black and white one, as well as one with the logo and stuff on it. But this was the only one that had Harley in her traditional suit here, so that's the one I wanted. That's my favorite look for her. So real quick, we'll show a couple pages here, just to kind of see what it looks like. So yeah, I think this is the 100 Bullets artist on this one. Looks like the same art style from the Bruce Timm or the Paul Dini graphic novel that came out a little bit ago that I had read. So it looks great. I look forward to checking this out for sure. So I'm glad I got this. And then some other things they had at their booth. This was another convention exclusive. Was the Batman Who Laughs #1 with this variant cover here, and there was only 500 I think were made, and so I got number 194 out of 500. And then they had, I guess they had covers for the other ones too, since they're on the third part of it, but these were all exclusive to Emerald City. So I got this one, and this was the only one that actually advertised on the Emerald City app. And then I got the second one as well, because I thought that was a really cool cover. In this one I got number 28 out of 500 there. So, and they had number 3, but number 3's cover wasn't really one I was super crazy about. And since these were all the Virgin covers, they were like 30 a piece. But they did have buy 2 get 1 free, so essentially what they did was they charged me for these 2, and then this one was free, but they were all like 15 a piece or something like that. And I think these were around 15 too, so I got all those. And I don't typically, like I said, do variant cover convention exclusives, but since this is Batman, this is something I follow and really like, I got these covers. So then after that, actually while I was doing that, my family went over to, they have the previews booth, and so they had some swag for free comic book day. They had some cool little lanyards. Ooh, sorry about that. They had some little keychains, and they had some little wristbands. And then whenever you scanned your badge, you could enter to win prizes either instantly or to be entered into a drawing on Sunday, which is today when I'm recording this, but I didn't have a ticket for today, so we were trying to do instant wins. And my little girl, she got an instant win, and she got this cool Harry Potter statue, which is about like $50 or $40 retail value, so pretty cool. So after we had done that, we went over to do, my wife, she had a photo op with the 12th Doctor. So this is her and Peter Capaldi here. And while she was doing that, this year they had the celeb photo ops and signings were in another hotel. So while she was doing that on the 3rd level, they had where you could try out the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. So we were playing the demo there for maybe about an hour or so, and so they get you a free pin for playing, as well as a nice little poster. So we got that, and each of my kids got one of those, as well as their own pin. And then my wife picked out these Hamilton prints that have like, I don't know if it's all of the lines from the musical or it's all the characters' lines, but so you have the Schuyler sisters and of course Hamilton and all that. So, and then she got the Firefly as well, Serenity. And then the CW booth had, you could get free stuff too. And so I got just a couple flash posters here, and then they had the Elseworlds one. So I got those. And then right after that, we had our group photo op with the cast of Boy Meets World. So here we all are here. This is my daughter, this is Violet, that's Evan, Sean, there I am, there's my wife. And so, yeah, everyone was here. And I've got like a little bit of a weird tooth here, so I angle my head a bit when I take pictures. So it really stands out here and looks kind of silly, but it's still a good picture. Like, no one's got their eyes closed or anything like that. And it was good we got to do that. But right after this photo op, then my wife had to take off. So whenever we got there, basically, Violet ran over here and she hugged Topanga, and everyone was kind of focused over here, and no one really spoke aside from, they were acting to all the kids. So because of that, basically, afterwards, I went to go actually meet them and talk to them. So then we got signatures from all of the kids from the show here. So there they all are. And then after that, we went back to the show floor because I had brought my books with me. I still had quite a few of them. I wanted to see if I could get some of them signed to lighten my load a little bit. So I was able to meet Philip Tan, and I got him to sign my Brimstone books 1 and 2 here. And second one's going to my kid because he actually really likes the art in Brimstone, and then I'm keeping the #1 copy. And then I got to meet Mike Lilly, and I had loved his tick covers he did. And actually when he did these was when I started following him. And when I had first seen this image, it was in black and white, posted on Facebook. And so when I saw that, I saved that image and went in and like digitally inked and flatted this picture and shared it with him. And he remembered that. So when I met him, I showed him on my phone. I was like, yeah, I was the guy who did this. So he was really thrilled to be able to meet me, and talked with him about the bull, and he's interested in that. So I'll be able to share that with him too. So I just didn't have any books at the time to give him or anything, or else I would have. So. But it was really cool to be able to meet him, and I look forward to seeing what he continues to do. I know he has a Detective Comics 1000 cover coming out that looks really cool. And he was really nice to my kids and everything too. And then after that, we pretty much concluded for the day. The kids went to shop a little bit downstairs. They got like some Pokemon plushies and trading cards and things like that. So that's what they did for that day. So then I came back on, oh wait, I also forgot too, on Thursday as well was Rainn Wilson's panel. So me and my kids, we watched that. And then we went down to meet him too. So I got my book signed by him. And once again, I talked with him about, just what a surprise this book was. If you haven't read this book, I highly recommend it. You learn so much about him, and it's very just surprising to see where he's come from and to see where his heart lies. He has a very huge humanitarian side, as he started a company called Soul Pancake. And so I was even talking with him about how, that company inspires people to do good, and how my thing with the bowl, I want to inspire people there to do good too. So it's just nice to be able to share that. And then I got this signed picture for the ASMR Ryan, because he really loves The Office. So I'll be mailing him out this picture soon. So if you're watching this, Ryan, it's coming. So that was Thursday. I don't know where I put my Friday pass down, but I'll just continue anyway. So Friday started off with, quickly I wanted to get a couple things done because I was meeting my friends that day. So just on the outset when I went in, I was on the show floor trying to get a couple signatures and things like that. And so let's see here, what did I do at the outset? Oh, first thing I did is when I went in, I went to the Dark Horse booth to try to get my bag. So I was able to get the Hellboy bag. So, and that one usually, typically they do have as a Friday one. I don't remember what the Thursday bag was. So I was really happy to get this. And then I spun the Prizeville at the CW booth. And I won a Riverdale shirt. But I don't watch that show or follow it. So I gave it to my friend. She's really into Riverdale. And she was just super appreciative and everything like that. So I gave her that. It was just had like the logo and it was in a baseball cut with the little ringer stuff around it. So she got that. What else? So yeah, the first thing on Friday they had the Boy Meets World panel. And so I came in, but as I was walking there, something caught my eye on the way. So they had, there was a booth selling vintage cards. So I got the base set of the Marvel Masterpiece cards. And I'm going to do a separate video on these too and put them in a like bigger binder and sort through them. But I always loved these as a kid, you know. And so she cut me a deal on them. So I got this for 10 even though it's marked 13 or 12. And then they also had the Batman movie ones too. And these ones, she had all the stickers and stuff in them too. So I was excited about that. So it wasn't just the base set. She had like the base set for the Turtles ones without the stickers. But I'm missing 2 cards, but I didn't want to spend $10 for 2 cards. And then I did get 3 random packs of cards as well. I got like some random Nickelodeon cards because the co-creator Ren and Stimpy was there. So I was trying to see if I could find a card in here for him to sign. And oddly enough, like all the cards in the pack were all like Doug themed, even though it's supposed to be multiple Nicktoons. And then I think I have one Rugrats one. But I'm saving the Marvel Masterpiece one to open with that video because I needed a pack too to go with the cards, as well as some Spawn ones, which I've never collected these, but I like Spawn. These were 3 for $5, 3 packs for $5. So I got those, and then I went to the panel for the Boy Meets World show, and I'll probably drop in an image or 2 of the cast and stuff here from when I was sitting at that panel. And then after that, then I started to go back to Artist Alley. In the previous day, I had scoped out a couple people who weren't there, so I went back to get them. So I started with some people who I thought would be a longer wait if I waited, you know, to meet them later in the day. So I started with Chip Zdarsky, so I got him to sign my Spider-Man books. And one of these will be put in the giveaway we do once we hit 1,000 subscribers. And then he was nice enough. He was doing commissioned head sketches for $30, which was a surprise to me. But I had a copy of the bull with me, so I showed him the character, and I was able to get a bull head sketch out of him. So I was super thrilled, you know. So this was easily one of my favorite things of the whole show, is being able to have Chip do a bull for me. So super cool. It pretty much made my con for the most part, or a huge chunk of it. So after that, I met Alex Malev, and signature there. This is Ural's book I got signed for the same thing, for the giveaway. And then a nice thick Daredevil book with a signature in there. Then I got to meet Matt Wagner. So this is, once again, one for the contest once we hit 1,000. And then this was mine for me, which was this first part of Mage. And I got to meet Mark Brooks, and this will be for the contest as well. This is what I had signed for me. Then I met Mike Gorell. And at this time, right before I met Mike, that's when my friends met up with me. So they were in the wings while I was talking to Mike. And he has a Kickstarter in a couple days, I believe he said. So check that out. I'm sure if you enter in Mike Grell on Kickstarter, it'll come up. And I think he has some exclusive early access stuff. I think it's in the first 48 hours you guys get something that other supporters won't. And then this is the one I got signed for you all. Then I met Aaron Lopresti, and I totally blanked. The damage book I had was the one he didn't work on yet. I know he started later, but when I saw it on my stack, I was like, why do I have number, I think it was 9 in my hand. I was like, gotta get number 1 signed, and then I remembered he didn't work on the book until later. So we just got him on this one here. And this was gonna go to the giveaway, but since this is the only signature I have, I gotta keep it. So sorry about that. But he might come down again. He usually comes every couple of years, maybe. And I met Mark Cho. I'm keeping this one. And this will go in the giveaway here. And I met Donnie Cates. And his line was a little longer, and my friend went to use the restroom, and when it was my turn, he was still gone. So I actually got my friend the Cosmic Ghostwriter book signed, and he came back as he was signing. I was trying to like motion him over to come, but he was worried people were gonna like freak out and thought he cut, but he didn't know I actually got it signed. So I was like, here's your signed book. And he's like, oh, it was really nice, because he didn't know that I had done that. But he's been reading a lot of Donny Cates' stuff, like Guardians of the Galaxy and things like that, and I think The Punisher as well, so, and Cosmic Ghostwriter, so he enjoyed that. And then we had some lunch afterwards, and then I'm trying to remember what we did after that. I know that his wife, she was going to get, I told him about the Chip Zdarsky head sketch, and she loves Riverdale, and she's actually reading the Archie comics and stuff, so she got a Jughead from him, so she got that taken care of. Oh yeah, we waited for Bob Camp, the co-creator of Ren and Stimpy, so I just got the standard logo print. Got a nice little to Jake, you filthy swine there. There's his signature, and then they got a scene of them all having breakfast, like powdered toast man and stuff. And both of them plus his wife's dad, they really bonded with Ren and Stimpy, so she shared her print picture with him on Messenger or whatever, and it was at the end of the day when he had seen it, and he really wanted one. So the next day I actually went back and worked on getting him a signed print from Bob as well. And I think that's how we rounded out the day, and I actually went home an hour earlier because there wasn't anything else I wanted to see that day. And my friend, he got off of work like a night shift before he came in, so I met up with him around 12. But he had like maybe 90 minutes of sleep, so he was pretty well done. So they headed out, and then I went back home. So that was my Friday. I have no clue where my passes have gone. So Saturday. So here I did find my Saturday pass, and here's my Friday pass too. So Saturday, went back to the Dark Horse booth, and they had a Stranger Things bag for the miniseries they're doing there. And they do a different bag designed for every day, so don't know what Sunday's was, but that's okay. But after that, in the Skybridge area, which is between like the exhibitor areas, was Jake Parker, who is the creator of Inktober. So I shared with him my The Bowl and all that, and told him about the 100 Days of Comics group, as well as Comics Wellspring for the cheap printing and all that, and he was really interested. And I showed him my comic, and he really thought it was cool to see that I had, completed the book. Once again, his whole thing is finished, not perfect, so just inspiring you to create. So he signed his book for me here. Haven't read this yet, but I totally look forward to it, and I definitely will. And yeah, he's just a huge online social media artist presence, so thanked him for his inspiration. And then beside him was Dave Kellett, who is one of the original webcomics guys. He was one of the people who worked on the How to Make Webcomics book with Brad Geiger and Chris Straub and Scott Kurtz. And so I talked with him once again, shared with him the whole thing with the bull and all that, and told him how much I liked the podcast he does with Brad, the Comic Lab podcast, I believe. He did a nice little Shakespeare in there for me. And yeah, we just had a good talk. And then I talked with the guy at the previews booth. Once again, we were checking badges and all that, and he gave me his card, and I told him about this YouTube channel, and he's interested in maybe doing a Skype sometime or a Google Hangouts where he'll come on the show and we'll talk a little bit. So look forward to a previews collaboration in the future. So it's pretty cool. And then once again, I was telling him too about the bowl and the whole process, and he was really into it too. So really nice. Let's see. So at the outset of that day, J. Scott Campbell was signing only on Saturday. So he did one at the beginning of the show. So I got a signature here on my Image Plus book. And later, I waited about an hour for Campbell's signature, even though I was like the 5th person in line, or maybe 10th or something. But people have a lot of stuff and they talk and all that. So I did that, and then I tried to circle back around and see what Bob Camp was doing. He wasn't at his booth, and I was worried. I was trying to get, that print signed for my friend. And then I circled back, and I got my nice Nightfall book signed here by Scott Hanna. And this is his image here too, he helped with. And then I met Mike Deodata Jr. And this one is you all's for when we hit that mark, 1,000 subscribers. And then I signed my art book I shared with you all a little bit ago. So we did that. And then I went back to where Rob Liefeld was. He was there with the Hot Flips booth people. And I did have my New Mutants 98 on me. And I had to decide. The New Mutants 98 to get signed without grading is $80. And if you want to get it CGC'd, it's $100. And then you have to go, get your witness for CGC. Then whatever fees are on top of that for that. And I didn't have the funds to do that. And I told Rob too, I had both of these books and I had to choose, but this one, since I had all these signatures here, it just made sense, He's like, oh no, you made a good move. This is a collectible here, and he actually designed the image logo. So he said, I actually came up with this logo, so I'm going to sign it right up here for you. So he was thrilled with this. He was really excited. And also J. Scott Campbell, too. He had done... he did caricatures of all the creators in here. So when he went to sign the book, he actually looked at it and was reminiscing and laughing about his pictures here he drew of all the creatives at the time. So, pretty neat stuff. And then there was a thing you could enter to win a contest where the dinner was actually in Washington to meet Todd McFarlane. And this was from a while ago. But I'm only missing Jim Valentino and Mark Silvestri and Jim Lee on here. And then I'll have all the founders. So pretty cool. So I'm glad I got Rob's signature on here. He does charge $40 if you want a signature on anything that's not X-Force #1 or New Mutants 98. And for X-Force, I believe it's 60, and then New Mutants is 98, so. But then after that, I'm trying to remember what I did. So, after Rob, once again, I circled back to where Bob Camp was, and he was finally there. And so I was able to finally talk with him. I showed him what my friend wanted him to inscribe. It was kind of like an inside joke thing. I guess they really enjoyed the Space Madness episode. And there was a Space Madness print that was displayed. But as soon as I said, can you write "glazed ham" on there, he laughed, his eyes lit up, and then he went beside his portfolio there and he grabbed out, he had another Space Madness print which actually showed like Rin floating in the bathwater it was like the actual scene when he says that. And so we got the last print of that and he made it out to him, and she shared the picture with her dad, and I guess he is super thrilled and got really emotional, and she said he never really gets like that, so it was really nice to be able to come through for him. So after that, I went to the Twisted Tunes panel, which is where all the voice actors and stuff are. And yeah, that was a good time. But when I went over there at first, it was 20 minutes into the show, and it's about an hour and a half thing, but it was, the whole room was full, it was capped. So I had to wait for people to leave before I could go in, and I was maybe like the 5th person in line or something like that. So eventually I got in, and then once it let out, then I was able to see if I could get some more signatures. So I met the Boy Meets World, the kids, the other day, but I wanted to see if I could get, Mr. Feeney and Eric and all that. So I went in there, and those guys weren't there yet, but Chris Sabat was there. And I don't have my DVD over here. Hold on. Well, that was a false alarm I had to hear the whole time. So he's known for being the voice of Vegeta, but he's also the voice of Piccolo. And Piccolo is my favorite character from Dragon Ball Z, because the first episode I saw was the episode where he dove in front of the beam that Nappa was gonna use to kill Gohan, and that was when Piccolo died for the first time on Dragon Ball Z. So I just thought that was really noble and selfless, and that got me interested in that character immediately. So all the episodes after that, I'm just like, what's gonna happen to him? Because I knew as the story developed that they had people who were still alive in the afterlife, and you could wish them back and things. And I had a friend who had seen like all of them Japanese dubbed at the time, so he actually knew the storyline. So I was just curious about the character and stuff. So I was glad I got this signed, even though he's known for Vegeta, and I like Vegeta too, but Piccolo has always been my favorite based upon that first episode. So I got that, and what was funny though is there was maybe 10 people in line, which was the shortest I'd seen the whole weekend. So that's part of why I queued up. But then they said, hold on, he's gonna have a 15-minute water break and he'll come back. So then the 10 of us were there waiting, and then the line got bigger, of course, and maybe about 40 minutes later, Chris had come back to sign, and the voice of Gohan, I want to say her name is Colleen, if I remember correctly, she was sitting at the booth right next to him. And so as it was my turn, she was about to leave her table. And so I called her name. I was like, Colleen, wait, are you going? She's like, yeah, I'm going on a quick break. And I was like, well, can I get a quick signature from you before you go? So she was nice enough to quickly sign this cool Gohan print for me. So, and the Chris's handler was basically really nice too, because it was my turn to pay for my DVD to get signed, and she's like, well, take care of what you got going with Colleen, and then just hop back over here. So we did that, and then right after that, both Wilfredell and William Daniels, they were finally at their areas. So I met William, got him to sign this nice picture of him as Feeny here. And, I told them that we were watching the show with the kids, and, they were learning about the characters and the wisdom he gives and stuff. And he was really nice and receptive, of course. And then I went over to talk to Will, and I was waiting a bit, and I realized, like 2 people before I was going to meet Will, that I didn't have this print on me. So in my head, I was worried and thinking about that as I was about to talk to Wilfredell. So I talked to Will, and I told him about, how much I liked his character on Boy Meets World, but also how in Batman Beyond, I've always had an ear for whenever people do voices, but since he did Terry's voice so low, I never realized it was him, but I always thought that Terry looked like Sean from Boy Meets World. And he's like, yeah, I could see that. And I said when it clicked for me, I knew Sean's voice well enough. He guest starred in one of the episodes of Batman Beyond as a voice. I don't remember which character, but yeah, so I looked at the credits and I saw, yep, there's Ryder Strong's name. And then I looked and I saw Wilfredell, Terry McGinnis, and I was like, I couldn't believe it, because like I said, his voice was so deep in this. I picked him up as Ron Stoppable and things like that, but at that moment in that episode was when I realized that he was in fact Terry McGinnis. So just a fun little random thing. And then as I was walking back, then I was like, where is my print? And one of the handlers where William Daniels' table was, saw me looking over, and he waved at me, and he's like, is this yours? So luckily I was able to get my print back. And then after that, I hopped down because I had to give my friends their picture for her dad. and I was waiting for them downstairs in the lobby, handed them off the picture, talked to them a bit, and then I came back in for the cosplay tournament, which is a big thing, and whoever wins this goes to Chicago. And I think that's where the big like world championship is, or there's another place after that, I can't remember. But we did that, and so when I came back in, like, there were tons of people already queued up for it. By the time I went, we were in the very back of the hall. We were wrapped around, and shortly after I got in line, they started having people line up on the 6th floor to be the back of the line. It was on the 7th floor, so they had to move people to another floor who were coming to line up for it. That's how many people were there. So I lucked out and I got in, and this was actually the first time I had ever stayed for the cosplay tournament. So it was really cool, and there was definitely tons of very talented people there. And I'm going to throw an image up of the grand prize winners on the screen here. And then I'm going to try to see if I can find the one. There was this guy dressed as Tarful, and he won like first place out of everything. So like they had their prize winners who won cash, but then they still had a first place too. So I'll show him. Then they had other ones for best for stitching, armor, and FX. And the Tarful was just overall, I believe, but he was FX. That's the category he was in. But there are so many talented people, and you know, the judges were people who are qualified and people who are costume designers and have actually worked in like Hollywood and things like that. But I was really surprised. There were some of them that were really incredible that didn't even place out of their top 3 for their category, which I thought was a real shame because they'd put in so much work. And especially the person who won the first place for the armor had barely any armor on them. They had like a headdress and loincloth boots sort of combo. It was they were cosplaying a character from Horizon, the PlayStation game, and they looked very accurate to the character, but I didn't see a lot of armor on them. And I thought this girl who had cosplayed a Lord of the Rings character did an incredible job, and she didn't even place. So my heart just sank for that person, but everyone just did really well. So I'm glad they did have their time on the stage. Everyone was got some really good cheers and everything like that, but it's just a great time. So that's what I did at the convention. I hope you all enjoyed it. There'll be more videos on the way for sure. Probably end up doing my previews flip through in the middle of the week, since Friday will be a comic haul. So if there's nothing else, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Bold Digital, $3 on Indiegogo. And you all have a super slumber. Thanks. Bye.